Hi guys, I'd like to welcome you guys back to Read with Melanin. Today we are here to talk about the books that I read in the month of August. Yeah, August. Listen, I'm just getting back on this consistency train, so you're gonna have to forgive me because we're gonna be doing this a lot today. August was kind of a moody month for me. I listened to audiobooks, but I was reading more physical books this month. And I wasn't really devoting a lot of time to reading. I've been doing a lot of drawing. I've been doing a lot of gaming. So like other hobbies were kind of taking precedence this last month. So it's not really something that I'm going to say like, oh my gosh, yeah, definitely. But I read 4 books. 2 of them were rereads. So let's just talk about the rereads real quick. I have started my annual reread of the Lunar Chronicles. So I read Cinder and Scarlet in August. And listen, I have been trying to get my friends to get on the Lunar Chronicles because I personally like this is one of my few YA series that I still very much enjoy even to this day. But I completely understand why most of them cannot get past Cinder because as I get older, the more times that I reread this series, the longer it takes for me to get through Cinder. And it's not like I don't know what's going to happen already. I already know, but I cringe so much more now that I'm like like way past YA. I cringe so hard with Cinder. Cinder is like the weakest of the entire Lunar Chronicles series, in my opinion. And like the older I get, the more I'm like, I gotta stop recommending the Lunar Chronicles to people because as adults, like it's completely understandable that we're not finding this story appealing. That is not to say that I don't like it. Like, to be fair, Cinder is the weakest one, but Scarlet is one of my top, like, of the 4. Like, Scarlet and Winter are my favorite 2 books. And like, I kind of noticed different things about Scarlet that I was listening to at this time. And I was like, did I still cringe with the whole alpha wolf thing? Yes, I will always cringe at that because, like, I know now that I've dipped my toe in the romance thing, I understand why we like paranormal shapeshifter things involving wolves, dragons, etc. But it still makes me cringe, and especially makes me cringe when it's YA. But it doesn't stop me from enjoying it, so I let it be. But with that being said, if you're ever thinking about like making a list of YA books, YA series that I like to reread, just let me know. I do have a couple that I like to reread, and they're not always the most popular ones, but they are ones that are special to me. So I think a couple months ago, I read the first Emily Wilde's book, The Encyclopedia of Fairies. Well, my library let it be known that the Map of the Other Lands was available. That is the second book in the Emily Wilde series. And I'm going to just start with the positives. I very much still enjoy it. I was reading this one like physically, but one, I was reading a little too slow, and I got to a point when I was reading that I wanted to stay up all night and kind of finish it, but I ended up listening to it via audiobook, and I think I listened to majority of it audiobook. So I'm going to count it as an audiobook versus a physical book. And I like the story. I like the whole story. It's hard to talk about a second book in a series without giving away spoilers for the first book. So I'm going to try to stay vague when I'm talking about this. But I'm noticing that there is a certain pattern to the way that Emily Wilde writes, or that these Emily Wilde books are written. This book kind of went in the exact same way as the first book. Different things happened at those times, but the formula was exactly the same. So that kind of made me side-eye a little bit. It's not side-eye enough to where I'm not going to read the third book. I do plan on reading the third book sometime this year. I just don't know when when it happens, it happens. But that particular thing, I was like, kind of predicted this was going to happen. And for the most part, because I'm not really taking this seriously, I can do that. And it's not one of those like super high fantasy books where it's going to bug the crap out of me. It's one of those more like cozier fantasy reads. So I'm okay with that. But I hope that that's not going to happen in the third book. I think I might actually record myself reading the third book so I can actually talk about these thoughts. I just have to remember to take my camera with me to work, and that's usually where I read the most during lunch. So that's probably where it's going to die down. But we're going to figure it out because, like, I like this series. I just want to know if anybody else is reading the Emily Wilde series. Like, did you notice a pattern somewhere? And if you notice a pattern, like, leave me a comment. I want to talk about it with somebody. Um, but I still enjoyed the book. I'm looking forward to the third book. The way that the direction of the ending of this book went, I am very much ready for the third book. I don't really know what to expect. I kind of had an idea of a certain place in the book, and in the second book, it kind of painted a different idea of that place. And I think in the third book, we're actually going to that place. So we get to see like what it really is. And I think we're going to be all right. To be honest, I probably should have done a completely separate video about this next book. But because I only read 4 books, I figured y'all could just let me rant for a while. I read Mbessa, The Chosen Wolf by C.L. Clark. This is a League of Legends book that goes along with the show Arcane on Netflix, and League of Legends if you are a gamer and like that's your style. Now, I will say, I have not actually watched season 2 of Arcane yet. Like, I'm saving it for a rainy day. But I have truly been awed by Mbessa and Mel. Mel and Mbessa, the Madadas, I was immediately intrigued by them. I mean, they were the black characters of the show, so y'all knew I was already intrigued. But without even watching the second season, where I know the Madadas have a very like their role is stronger in the second series or the second season than the first season. I know that. And I kind of have an idea what happens because somebody spoiled it for me on Twitter. That's why I'm not on Twitter anymore. I know all of that. And I know Mbessa is questionable. I know Mbessa seems like the enemy. I know Mbessa seems like she doesn't love Mel. I know all of these things. I loved this book. I didn't know that I wanted an insight to Mbessa. I didn't know that. And now that I have an insight to Mbessa and how her mind works, it's very interesting. This story takes place when Mel was 15 and Mbessa is like 40. And her grandfather, who was the patriarch of the Madadas, he passes away without naming an heir. And so it's between her and her cousin Tafik. Yeah, her and her cousin Tafik. And you get to see Mbessa in a different way. You get to see Mbessa feel. You get to see where Mbessa's loyalties lie. And it's like I understand Mbessa so much more. I understand why she acted the way that she acted in Arcane. And I'm also understanding that when I watch the second season, I'm going to have a completely different understanding of Mbessa than the people who just watched season 2 without reading this book. Now, I do believe you could read this book after watching season 2 of Arcane, and it'll still give you the same kind of feeling. In my opinion, I thought the way that C.L. Clark wrote Mbessa is this beautiful, strong woman, but Mbessa loves, and she loves hard. And the way that she loves is actually it's so beautiful and so bad at the same time, because her logic for the reasons that she does things, it makes sense once you understand Mbessa, but that doesn't make it right, but it makes it understood. And I really, really enjoyed this book. So if you're a person that likes reading books that are, go along with, like other shows or comics or games, like the Arisa series by the Arisa book that was like Overwatch. Like, I love reading books that give me insights to characters. And honestly, like, at one time I was like, maybe they should have did Mel. No, because in this book you get the standing point from Mel sometimes, and you get the standing point from Mbessa from sometimes. And I don't know, like, I wasn't expecting Mbessa to have as much heart as she has, if that makes sense. Like, I wasn't expecting to really root for Mbessa in a way, and I wasn't expecting to feel so sorry for Mel. Like, I actually felt sorry for Mel and Mbessa. I felt like in a different world, their relationship obviously would be better. but I felt like both of them actually acted the same. And it's crazy how they acted the same. Plus, there are some answers to some things because, they're referenced in the Arcane series, but like, because we're back when Mel was a teenager and back when, and Bessa, her husband, and her brother, everybody is still alive. Everybody is still doing all these things. Because of that, you get an insight to their family dynamic. You get an understanding of like what it truly means to be a Madada. Loved it. I truly loved it. Am I saying this is a 5-star read? No, because there were some parts that I felt like kind of were drawing on a little too much. But I loved the characterization. I loved the care that was taken with Mel and with Ambessa. And I cannot stress enough that I was genuinely like, ooh, sis, like, what is happening? Like, Ambessa, Ambessa girl. But yeah, I loved it. The whole like the family intrigue, the family war, like Ambessa is heartless, but Ambessa is methodical. Mel is seen as soft, but Mel is a force to be reckoned with, even at 15. Even at 15, Mel is a force to be reckoned with. Not in the way that Ambessa wants her to be, but in a way that truly makes me understand Mel as an adult. And like Mel as a child, it's like when you realize how much Mel is like her mother from reading the book. I have a feeling when I go into season 2 now, I'm going to feel very differently about their dynamic and about the things that they're like choosing to do. So that is my thoughts. I don't think I ranted too long. So those are the books that I read in the month of August. What books did you read in the month of August? Please let me know down below in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I promise y'all I'm back. We're doing good. We're on a mission to get followers. I'm on a mission to reach 500 followers by the end of this month, and I would really love your help. So if you could please share this video, like this video, comment on this video, and till the next time, guys, bye.